And we are back. We are actually already done with setup, but first we got a 75 € donation from Paul Kinku. I hope I said that right. And he had in the comments, tell the chat something about Finland. Well, I will tell you something about Finland. If you feel like a failure, well, you're a winner in Finland. Basically, Finland has a day for failure every October 13th, and this started actually in 2010. And this is actually done to make you learn about that mistakes can happen and that you just need to keep trying to be better. So, better luck next time, losers. And without further ado, I throw you to Wishboy73 with Furi.
Okay, hello guys, once again. So, this is Furi. I'm gonna run speedrun mode. It's the main game, but it's a boss rush, so you do all the bosses straight after each other without the cutscenes. So the time will begin once I press speedrun, since the RTA time always comes in with the game itself. So that should be fine. So I wanna get a countdown if I can have one. Go. Nice. So, Furi is a fast-paced combat shooter game. So the main goal of the game is to just beat the boss down as quickly as you can. And you use this by shooting and parrying. So you try to shoot as often as possible and just parry the attacks. Because it's the fastest way to rush the boss down. So you try to charge your attacks well. And I'm trying to charge my attacks, but I get hit meanwhile. So when you knock him down, you get a small duration of extra time to charge your attack, and that's the first phase of the first boss. I put the voice in Japanese because the English voices sound a bit cringy. So that's the reason. And rip the parries. So all those bullets, you can't really go through them. And this is one of his slash attacks. It's an attack with a delay, but you can see the range it has, because it always has a really big range, so... And that's the second phase done. So one thing that every boss has is a desperation phase. The desperation phase is the final phase of the boss fight. And what the final phase of the boss fight does is, like, you can't hit him. You can't do no damage to him, but it's just overall dodging. I'm holding my controller also in really weird ways, since you shoot with the right analog instead of another button, so you can aim right. And you parry and slash with the buttons, so it's just a bit of a weird control set. Okay, so that was a frame perfect parry. If you parry at the frame he hits you, then you get a frame perfect parry. And here we go, right into the desperation phase. The first bomb being really easy, but later on in the run, the desperation phases can get really difficult. So what you see, these bullets, you can shoot through them. With the charge bullet attack, you shoot more than normally. But I just use the normal shoot since it's a quicker method to go through them. You will also now see the first instance of orange bullets. What orange bullets do, you can parry them, but for the rest you can't shoot through them. They're unblockable. Apart from with the parry, of course. So I just try to parry one, and if I get hit, it doesn't really matter because you can still dash through them. Because after they hit you, they disappear as well. So this is the final desperation phase. Now it's like dodging. And that was the boss fight. Actually, that's a PB on the first boss. Since there is like boss only, like you just get a good time for one boss, and that's a PB. Okay, the second boss is a bit more technical. We use these platforms on the floor to lure him towards me. And he just gets attracted to it. You can deal a lot of damage to him. So there's also new mechanics. So what I didn't do in the first battle was really slash someone. What it is you charge your slash a little bit longer, and if it hits on the right moment, it stuns them. And that's the first phase done. So now I will go more to the above, because there are still platforms on the floor here. You mostly use them for the first and second phase of this boss, because those are just the easiest to go through quickly with them. Later phases can be a bit more annoying if you use those. And because they're easier just to do normally. Shoot him, because then the purple bullets disappear. That was an unnecessary hit, but still the second phase done. So in the third phase, she will unlock her chains on the back, and she will get a scythe. This way the boss battle gets a bit more annoying, since she has a different attack pattern. And she will start shooting bullets onto you as well. You see, she also has now parryable attacks, what she didn't have in the first phase, because she didn't really have melee attacks. Apart from with her head one in the desperation, not desperation phase, in the melee phase. Melee phases happen after you beat the boss's health down, and then you get the red bar, and the red bar is from those phases. One thing I gotta say, and that was the reason why I started running this game, because the music of this game is amazing. It's one of my favorite styles. And funnily enough, my favorite artist makes music for this game as well. His name is Carpenter Brut. And I just listen to this music all the time. So he made this song and one of the hardest boss in the game. That's the 7th boss, and you see it later in the run. Perfect parry, that's alright. Ooh, that was a really unnecessary hit, because now I had to charge my attack again. And yeah, that's the third phase done. Now, here comes the hard part of this boss battle, a phase skip. So I'm gonna concentrate for a little bit for this one. I'll explain it afterwards if I get it. And yeah, there she goes. Dang it. Okay, so what I tried to do is, normally she would go away instantly, but if you can catch up to her, you can stun lock her and keep damaging her. But since that didn't happen, I have to do the normal phase, and this loses quite a bit of time. I tried to dodge it, but... So here you have to struggle your analog sticks. Otherwise she does damage to you. So now it gets a bit more annoying, since this phase is really... There's a reason why the phase skip is so handy for this. It saves a lot of time. You could see she was firing purple, orange bullets there. Those orange, purple bullets there, actually, I haven't explained them. Those are homing. So they just follow the player. Okay, so if you don't dodge that attack, she will land a stun on you and she'll do a lot of damage. Yeah, a lot of damage. And we're on to the desperation phase. This one is a bit more scary, but not too scary compared to later bosses. The first two bosses are pretty easy. The third boss is more of a pain to me, since I dislike the way the boss works and his mechanics. So we'll stand here and hold the analog stick. And yeah, if you have any donations, now would be the time, since this desperation phase is pretty easy.
We don't have any donations at this point, but I can still talk a little bit to the chat, because I can imagine you guys are watching this. Yes, I'm talking to you. And you are actually enjoying this event, right? So you don't want to let it stop too early. Well, what if I told you that you can actually make this marathon a little bit longer? Because we have actually 2 bonus games, which one of them is coming up actually within 6 hours. But we are still pretty far off. So how about we are going to try to set a challenge as a chat. If everybody in the chat donates €1 and put it towards the bonus games, maybe we can make it happen. The challenge is to you, chat.
So that was an alright boss battle. Apart from that, I didn't get the phase skip and causing that to me to lose time. It was alright. And this is the third boss. I dislike it. So what we have to do in the first phase, we have to break down his shield to hit him once. Yeah, once. And we try to do it as quickly as possible as well, so... Okay, and this should hit him. There we go. That was a quick first phase. That was good. So the second phase gets a bit harder. So he's gonna shoot these balls. We're gonna parry them or miss them. And what he's gonna do then, he stand in the middle on a pillar, and every time we shoot the pillar, these fields come out. So we try to hit it not with charge bullets, because maybe that seems fast, but it is not. And meanwhile, those orange bullets, those unblockable bullets, are starting to go in and out of the middle. So we just try to rush him down as fast as we can, because otherwise he will just spawn a new wave of orange bullets as well. This means we're like at a quarter of his health, that sentence. And there we go. So up next, he's gonna spawn a lot of bullets, and we're gonna shoot through them so they disappear. And then when he attacks me, I will just do a perfect parry. Intended this, all intended. And everything will freeze, as you can see. Like, this boss's special power is time. So you can't use your bullets as well. But I didn't hit any of those. So charge the attack. And there we go, second phase done. This boss is a bit shorter than most bosses because he only has 4 phases. But the fourth phase is pretty long, since it has 2 parts. So again a pillar, but now they're gonna start coming waves. This one is easier in my opinion. Okay, but now here comes a bit more annoying because these balls deal full 1 HP damage. You have 8 HP. And the blue ones, the smaller one, those deal like 1/4 of your HP, I think, or 1/2. I don't really remember. You see, those bullets are frozen. Get another perfect parry. That means you only need like 2 more hits on him, and then he's into the melee phase. So we try to get as close to him as possible because we don't want him to enter the phase that he throws lines on the floor, like those orange lines, because it does a lot of damage and we don't want that.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Of course we do.
We got a €1 donation from Loki4 saying, "Challenge accepted. Here is my euro."
I think I know who it is, but I don't know for certain. So I'm not gonna say anything. So this desperation phase can be a bit scary when you first come through it, because those bullets will start coming towards you, and meanwhile those circles from the middle. And the next part of the phase is a bit more scary even. So he will spawn, I think, 8 or 9 pillars. 8 pillars. And those pillars you need to destroy. But every time you hit a pillar, there spawn blue bullets, and meanwhile he will spawn orange bullets. Remember, the blue bullets deal like a little bit of damage, the orange bullet deal full HP. So, but if you're played safe enough, you should be able to do this without any big problems. Because like I'm playing it a bit safe, trying to not go in too much, but still, and meanwhile trying to dodge the bullets that come from the middle. But at the same time, I will try to just do it as quickly as possible. Because if you destroy the pillars, the same as all the other phases, you need to parry him. But this time when you parry him, the phase is done. So... And that was the third boss. And that was a good time, a really good time. That was like 5 minutes. That was almost a PB, I think, on that boss fight. And this boss fight has a really annoying gimmick. So every time I get hit by one of his bullets, the screen starts to get a bit wavy. But you can't parry all his bullets. I dislike his music as well, so this boss is, I think, my least favorite boss in the game. The other boss is at least a bit interesting still, in my opinion. So we try to parry that triple shot because it can be a bit annoying, but even if we don't parry it, it's fine since we take less damage. And if we parry it, it deals a lot of damage on him, so that's pretty good. And now we do cross moves. Those are a bit of annoying and his gimmick in this melee phases. You will do them really often. And that's his second phase done. From the fourth phase, it's getting really annoying. Third phase is a bit hard already. There we go, third phase. Oh, I didn't expect him to go for an attack there. Because normally they would go back off from the wall since... oh, this is not good. So, there's a struggle here again. And you can't dodge it. There are some struggles you can't dodge and some struggles you can dodge. And that was a taunt. Sometimes bosses tend to do a taunt onto you. It helps you pretty much and not them. So the fourth phase is a bit more annoying already, but the fifth phase is the real pain in this boss fight, together with this final phase. This is the first boss fight where the final phase is like really scary. Because in this final boss fight, there's a small gimmick we can use to make the phase a little bit easier. But in the third phase, if we are too slow, he will enter a really annoying attack. And we don't want that. Oh god, this is scary. Yes. Oh my god, that was really scary. I was on one hit point there. I took a little bit too much damage. And this is one of those annoying attacks I was talking about. So he'll spawn cluster shots. We'll try to get in behind them because you can't shoot through those bullets. Okay, that was actually pretty good. So we didn't get the long phase. And that was bullying, since his dodge area was in the wall. And there we go. And here comes his really scary desperation phase. So we shoot that bullet here to make the arena a bit bigger. Otherwise the arena is really small. You'd have almost no space to move in. So what he's gonna do now is make well, lines onto the field, so it will get even smaller and smaller, and you'll see that right now. So this, because we made it a bit bigger, it's a bit easier to do now. He doesn't have a melee desperation phase, by the way. At least I thought. Yeah, he doesn't. There we go. And that's the fourth boss done. And after the fifth boss, the game is gonna start getting harder. So the fifth boss has a really stupid gimmick, what makes him slow. We can't shoot on him, pretty much. Unless he's in a specific attack that he doesn't use his shield. Such as that. Otherwise he'll block it and the damage he does back is a lot bigger, like that. What? The struggle didn't work, okay. As well as BSG crew hasn't seen any further than this boss because my any percent run ends. The any percent run ends after you beat this boss. So now they get to see what's after this boss, and that's I'm pretty excited. Since last BSG I attended in April, there was an incentive for entering speedrun mode. But because it didn't get met, I was thinking, why not submit it to Annual? And because it got in, we can show off the whole run, of course. And that's the first phase done as well. So, this boss fight will throw his shield away in the third phase, just so you know. There we go, another phase. There I could have used melee. That was pretty dumb to just use your shooting attack. And I missed him. Oh well, don't worry about it. So he'll try to move away from the wall. And I didn't parry it. That's a bit rough. Oh, that's a bit of a problem. If it gets, I forgot to close down my Discord. So if it gets too big of a problem, I'll pause it because this run goes on to RTA. I mean, in-game time, sorry. Okay, and there's where the shield gets more annoying. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna quickly close that down. I'm really sorry about this. Okay, there, Discord percent, quickly run it. It's a really cool speedrun, everybody should try it out. I'm really, I want chat to try out Discord percent, okay? It's a really easy run and the game is free, so yeah. Nice, ultimate parry. They also call me, in Dark Souls they call me the parry god. And there we go. The shield is gone, so we can finally start shooting him again. And that's the annoying gimmick of this boss fight gone. This boss fight does have a really annoying melee phase since in his ultimate, because he'll start just slashing and you have to parry all his attack. And there's a giant laser he does. There is a phase skip for this boss fight in the 4th phase. There's a specific way you can make him stuck in a spot, but it's really precise and I can't do it. Such as like with the world record holder Dicker Sheet, he does it all the time in his run. But of course I'm not world record holder, you know. So I had to charge my attack, but he didn't let me. No. And that's one of those analog attacks you can skip by just not playing bad and getting hit by him. Again, please, game! And there we go. Desperation phase. So this is one of the only desperation phases where you're able to hit the boss. So he's gonna make a circle and we're gonna fight within it. And what he's gonna do is spam his laser attacks when he's outside it. And I get hit again! Game! And the melee phase. By the way, you don't get any health back from all his attacks. And that's the fifth boss done. And now we get onto the new part of the run. Ooh, achievement unlocked, guys. Achievement stream. This is all achievements. So this boss is named the Song. Normally you can end the game by talking to her. But if you don't talk to her and just go straight on ahead, you enter this boss fight, and it's a hard boss fight, in my opinion. There are not that many boss fights that well, actually there are a lot of boss fights in the game that I find hard, but I mean, there are not a lot of boss fights that I find fun and hard. There are 2 in this game, and this is one of them. But I should not be getting hit. So she'll start now firing to the right of us, and then just firing waves at us of blue lines. And that's a fly on my screen, beautiful. I mean, I think he enjoys the run as well. I hope your chat is enjoying it as much as the fly is. So, you also saw those, they were a bit more, what's called, a bit more dark blue color, those bullets, instead of the other ones. It's because their movement speed of the bullet is faster than the normal bullet. So they do the same amount of damage, but they're just faster. So she will start firing lasers now as well, in this phase. There we go, and onto the third phase. This is one of those phases that looks really hard, but it's actually not that hard to do, because the bullets are all pretty small, so there are a lot of spaces in between where you can just walk. And the lines that she makes are also pretty small, so you can dodge through them. So now the arena gets an extension, and I fall off it. So now you also get those waves where you can walk in. So there's a small opening in the middle, as you can see, and you just walk through that one. I didn't mean that opening, by the way, in the floor. You know what? And then she goes to the middle. Wow, beautiful. So now she'll activate an attack that will let it rain bullets pretty much from the sky. And then she'll start firing it really fast. So there's not really much we can do to not dodge it here. So this is the first time where I actually die. So we have... This is intended because I wanted to show off what happens then. So what happens when you die in a boss phase is pretty much... you have 3 lives, and every time you complete a phase, you get an extra life back if you are missing 1 or 2. And what happens then, the boss just refills his or her HP bar, and then yeah, you just have to redo the phase. That's pretty much what happens. So this is a melee phase. Normally what you would do is parry those bullets, apart from the last one, because it stuns her, and stunning often loses time. And it doesn't really do that much bonus damage. And there's a taunt, exactly what we needed. On to the semi-final phase. She'll fire the raindrops again, and now she'll just attack us, I suppose. I don't remember this phase fully, if I'm quite honest, in what she will do, but... So, now she dropped a rain of orange balls, so those balls will try to go towards me. So you want to stay within the inside of the ring now, because the outside is fully covered by other balls. Ooh, that's risky. Phew. And on to the desperation phase. So there are 4 pillars in the arena, and you have to destroy all 4 of them. So just normally shooting is the quickest way of doing this. And every time you destroy one of the pillars, the arena gets a new gimmick, and it gets harder. So such as now, there's a laser going around the arena. And in a bit you will start firing waves at us as well. After this pillar, I think. Yep, there we go. So now you have the waves from the middle. And I don't know what this pillar does, but the final pillar gives her a new phase. Oh yeah, raindrops, that's what it does. And the final pillar, if you destroy it, it gives her somewhat of a new phase. So... No! Oh no, I walked. If I walked, it would have been fine, but instead of walking, I instead dashed into one of the green areas, causing me to die, because my HP was already pretty low after falling off the map after getting stunned. I'll get 1 HP bullet for safety reasons. The raindrops are back, and we're almost in the final phase again. What? I still got hit and stunned off the map. Okay, now we got her. Whew. Don't listen to her, guys. Funny, because I think I already unlocked those achievements. Pretty funny then. So here comes the best boss in the game and the hardest boss, and my favorite boss as well. So this boss has a gimmick that can insta-kill you. And the only way to do anything about it is dodge it, and that's this bullet. She's a sniper. Every time you walk up to her, you have to let her hit one of those poles. And when she does, she has a small opening where you can hit her. And no matter how good you are as a player, the final phase of this boss, the desperation phase, is always super scary. And there's a reason why I practice this boss so much because of it. And I still am not the best at it. And there we go, first phase done. Moving on to the second phase. We have to destroy these turrets because we're close in the arena with them. And the arena won't open unless you destroy them. So what you see me do, anytime a phase ends before the third phase, I will go to the middle and start spamming parry. Because it triggers her to shoot towards you quicker. And that's why we do it, pretty much. And then she parried me. Yeah, bosses can parry you as well. Ooh. So just hand behind the pillar within this attack, then you're fine. Because the attack can't reach behind there. And then just... And then we enter the third phase. This is where the boss battle starts getting harder. Because we're going not into the small arenas anymore. You only need to find her once now. And then you stay in the... For the rest of the boss battle, you stay in the middle of the arena. Okay, so I saw her go to the right, so I'll go to the middle. Because otherwise, if you go to the right straight away, she won't be there anymore. She'll just flee away. Okay, hit her once, and now she'll go to the middle. I'm already gonna hide behind one of those pillars because it saves a bit of time. So now she starts shooting a sniper rifle quicker. And if you get hit once, you insta-kill and died. What I told at the beginning of the battle. By the way, together with their boss, there are only 2 bosses after this boss remaining. Yeah, 2 bosses. So we'll go into a corner now. Because it will manipulate it to always be there. And there's a really easy cycle to know. She will do 1 parry, 2 parry, 3 parries. That's her attack cycle, pretty much for this phase. And also for the next phase, so they're pretty much the same. Wow, she shields me off right before she goes down. And there it goes. Now, the semi-last phase is almost the same as the other phase, so we'll try to get into a corner. And just keep spamming hitting the parries and shooting at her. And hope that they hit the parries. Because if we don't, this phase can be really annoying. Okay, so normally you wouldn't go for a perfect parry attack in this phase, but I mean, well, in most phases, but I wanted to go for it because I thought I could actually kill her if we did it, but now she goes into the annoying part of this phase. And here we go. So now she's in the middle and these walls spawn in. And we actually got her very quick. That was an unnecessary hit. So here comes one of those analog attacks again. Undodgeable, by the way. And here comes the scary phase of the boss battle, the final phase. So I can die here. There is a chance I can die here. So it starts off very easy, but I'm not gonna talk because I want to concentrate. So she'll start firing bullets now as well. The choke, the choke, the choke, the choke. As I told, the choke was really bad there. Oh. That's a minute time loss. Well, a little bit less than a minute, I think, but still. And now the melee phase. This is the only last part of the run, and I hope I don't die, because if I miss my parries, I do. Ooh. Okay. So, ultimate consultation, because if I die, I have to redo the whole boss. That's a 7-minute time loss, by the way. Yes! There we go. That's the hardest boss of the game done. Still 2 to go. 1 easy and 1 really hard one, the final boss of the game. Is it Dark Mind? Oh no, it's actually 3 bosses, but this one is 1 minute. At least if I can get my charge attack off. And I can't! That. So normally this boss is really fast because you can you can parry him pretty easy often. And after this attack you can normally charge your attack. This is not looking good. There we go. So why you need to charge your attacks is because it insta kills his face. Apart from the last one. There we go. On to the third phase. I'm afraid I maybe go a little bit overestimate though. No, hit him. Oh, I parried too early. Yeah, that's too bad. So there's like one attack of him where you can charge a weapon in. It's really annoying. That's one. There we go, finally. So now the final phase. So this one is scary since you have to hit him twice with the charge attack and he becomes really aggressive. That's too bad. There we go, boss fight done. Coming up to the semi-final boss. This is, well, I don't really want to call it the boss. It's pretty much, well, yeah. See for yourself what you want to call it. Because you don't really hit the boss. Most of it is running onto this bridge. Though the stupid gimmick, all bullets in this boss battle, lasers, anything, do double damage. There we go. There we go, first phase done. She only has 3 phases, by the way. Shortest boss in the game. Apart from the melee boss that I kind of screwed up. Luckily, when you die, you revive on top of the bridge, so at the same point you died, so that's fine. And in the final phase of this boss, you just don't die. So now it's the same part, but only the lasers will fire as well. Shockwaves. And there we go. On to the last phase. Oh, yeah. Those lasers deal 3 damage apiece. And now the game will play itself. Handless %. You can't skip the cutscene, sadly. So I think, yeah, he's dead. No, of course not. It's a game. You're playing the guy. Why would he die? Okay, here we go. You see, she's kind of, well, weak. And that's that boss done. And then the final boss, and one of the best bosses as well. So this is kind of the story of this game is you are an invader sent to the world, but you were in prison, so you tried to escape the prison. But now you had the chance at the end of the game to destroy the Earth and infiltrate it, or deny the order. And if you deny the order, you get this hidden boss. And it's actually the final boss of the game. Dark Mind. No. So you try to just sit in this corner, because in this corner the left laser can't hit you. And you try to charge your attacks, because you have a special suit now giving you a laser that deals more damage. So, first phase done. So it's pretty much dodging at the moment, because there's not really a safe spot in this phase. Okay, so the next phase is pretty funny. In a specific position, you can't get hit by any of the bullets, unless you go into the second part of it, but we try to avoid it just by shooting this hand all the time. So what happens is the hand will, if the hand dies, the next phase won't trigger from this phase. Like, this phase has two parts of it, and the next part won't trigger, because the other hand will start shooting as in the first phase again. But you can sit in about the same spot and still dodge everything. That's risky. Close enough. So that's actually pretty close, because you almost entered the part of the phase I was talking about. So we'll just try to burst down this right hand right now. And we try to destroy it as quickly as possible. Because you see that's what we want to avoid. Because it's really hard to fight in. There will be 4 lasers shooting at you, but because we killed one, there will be 5. So that is why we try to burst down that hand. So there's no safe spot in this part. We just try to dodge and fire, and as we did in the other phases, onto his left hand first, and then his right hand. Because the phase will actually also reset here if you kill one of the hands. What we try to do, it's not really that the phase becomes that hard if we don't do it, but it's just a lot more handy. As well as the reason why this is so handy is because it goes through the bullets. And your normal bullets don't go through the orange bullets. And this is, after the 7th boss, the hardest phase in the game, so the second hardest. And I'm gonna give my full concentration. Every gimmick comes back into this phase. Everything. I hope we didn't get hit there. And here's the hardest part. Time's coming up pretty soon. Time coming up. And time. That is a PB. That is a PB, even though I went over estimate. I just put my estimate a little bit too low. But anyway, before I go, I want to give some quick shout-outs, of course, to the world record holder, Dicker Sheet, once again, for giving me the advice I needed to do this run. The BSG crew for letting me run this here. And, well, I want to wish everyone here a really good event, and I hope you have fun in the next runs.
Well, thank you, Wizboy, for that great Furi run. Next up, we get Cat Quest by Lighten95. I have never seen the game, but it has cat in it, so I would stay for that for sure. But first, we are going to run a few ads, so please stay tuned.